Boxing truth here. Bob Arum earlier today just exposed Terence Crawford as being a ducker, as he revealed on why the fight between Pacquiao and Crawford is not happening. And it's what I've been stating in my previous videos on this topic. Arum said that the weight demand from Terence Crawford derailed this fight, as Crawford is making a weight demand for Manny to come down to 140 to fight him. Crawford's making weight demands when he can't even break 50K pay-per-view buys. You're making demands when you're just a B-side opponent to Manny Pacquiao. If you wanted that fight, it was there for you. All you had to do was jump up in weight, or at least be willing to move up in weight to see if Manny would have avoided you. But you didn't do that. You avoided the fight and taking a path of least resistance instead of an opportunity to fight a legend, one of the biggest earners in the sport. A fight a lot of people think that you could win. You're going to stay at a weight where there's absolutely no money fights. There's no big fights at the weight. You're really established as the number one guy by coasting and running away to a decision win over Postal. You're getting all this recognition even prior to the Postal victory. Getting pound for pound recognition from knocking out featherweights and lightweights. And now you're considered top 3, top 5 for coasting to a decision win. You barely in my top 10, bro, and I'm being generous. But now you're gonna duck Manny Pacquiao because you don't want to move up in weight. You're gonna insist that he comes down to 140 when Pacquiao hasn't made that weight in 7 years, and Manny wasn't comfortable trimming down to that weight when he has all these added political duties that has been added to his schedule. So he's going to fight where he's comfortable at or around the welterweight division, like he's been doing for the past 7 years. The fight was right there for Crawford. He didn't step up and take the opportunity. And it's a damn shame, because there's nothing out there at 140 for Crawford. This is not a Gennady Golovkin situation. Golovkin has money fights in his division. Crawford does not. There's nothing there. Trianowski, he's got a fight scheduled. It's not a big fight anyways. Doesn't seem like Orozco, according to some reporters, is willing to fight you. It's not a big fight anyways. There's no names. There's no big fights. So now, instead of fighting Pacquiao for a lot more money, you're going to fight someone in your hometown in Omaha at a November date for a lot less money against a much more less recognizable opponent, because there's no name fighters, no big name fights at 140 pounds. And if y'all don't believe the 140 pound weight demand, just take Dan Rayfield's word. The writer from ESPN, he was there at the event. He was covering Crawford Postal. He spoke to Terence Crawford, and Crawford told him what he told many other boxing writers that night, that he would fight Manny, but it would have to be at a weight at 140 pounds. Now, what's up with that? Why are you being picky and choosy and who you want to move up and weight for? You said you'd be willing to move up and weight for Danny Garcia, but you ain't willing to move up and weight for Manny Pacquiao, because you don't want that work. Shit, not even Bob Arum's matchmakers think you can handle Manny Pacquiao right now. And I don't even think it has anything to do with the matchmakers. I still think Bob Arum is willing to make the fight. He's been the most willing out of everybody, of all the parties involved when it comes to this fight. He's been trying to make it for the past year. But the issue of weight has been in the way of making this fight. And it's a damn shame. A lot of these new generation fighters not willing to step up and take the opportunity of a lifetime. Fighters like Adrian Broner, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, they all didn't step up. Now Terence Crawford's not stepping up. He'd rather take a path of least resistance and fight in his hometown for a lot less money against lesser threats. It's a damn shame, because this is my generation of fighters. My generation right now is at the forefront. Right now, this is the time of my life in boxing because my generation is at the forefront. Tyson Fury is the heavyweight champion, born in 1988. Danny Garcia is the WBC welterweight champion, also born in 1988. Vasyl Lomachenko is making history. He was also born in 1988. Keith Thurman talks a lot of shit. Only has one solid win on his resume. Also born in 1988. I'll give him 2 solid wins. Who else? Demetrius Andrade, inactivity, trying to get back into the limelight. Also born in 1988. So that's the thing. Boxing Truth was also born in 1988. I'm practically the same age as these guys, 28 years old, and only a couple of them are stepping up or making history. Tyson Fury stepped up. He took the challenge and dethroned the legend. Vasyl Lomachenko is willing to make history. But the other fighters at the forefront of my generation are not stepping up. They're backing down. They're willing to take paths of least resistance. They're willing to duck a past his prime legend who is a naturally smaller fighter in Manny Pacquiao. But I have to admit, Manny Pacquiao is just too much for these cats right now. This goes to show you that he's that special of a fighter. Despite him being 37 years old, way past it, punch output's way low. These guys still don't have what it takes to beat him. If they did, Crawford would have stepped up, but he didn't. Just exposed that he's scared to death of Manny Pacquiao and a ducker. You'd rather stay at 140 to fight no-name opponents. It is what it is, Terence Crawford. Keep fighting hand-picked lightweights if you want. But sooner or later, you're going to have to step up, and we'll see if you do. Because he was willing to swerve Manny Pacquiao for a November date. Could have had the opportunity, you didn't take it. And that's a shame, because a lot of fighters of this generation are not stepping up. Only a couple are doing good things, historic things. So we'll see if any other of the young fighters are willing to step up. Jesse Vargas stepped up, but he's not going to beat Manny Pacquiao. We'll see which of these young fighters, these new generation fighters that are at the forefront right now, that are in their primes, will step up and take over the boxing world. Become the new kings of the sport. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.